Greetings and salutations, humans. Welcome to the channel. This is your host, Putinbot, and today we are going to be doing a guide on Gnishak. He is the current Christmas fusion, and your favorite bot, Putinbot, was able to summon him early because I was able to get one of the epics early with the Shard Pool War I did with Rizzo the Legend over the weekend. And so here he is in all of his obese glory. I mean, just look at this guy. This is the weirdest looking Christmas champion. I mean, I don't understand the Christmas theme. Y'all, in the comment section down below, tell me what I'm missing. This guy does not look like a Christmas champion to me. Just doesn't. Just looks obnoxious. But at the end of the day, though, we want champions based off of what they're able to do for us, not off of how they look. And so we're going to go over his kit. We are going to see how I've got him built. We're going to take a look at his masteries. We're going to do a test on him. And we are going to see, is this guy worth your hard-earned resources to summon? Is this guy a hero or is he a zero? Well, we are about to find out. First, let's kind of go over the gear I've got him in. As you can see, I've got him in 2 pieces of perception, and I've got him in 1 speed set. Let's look at the total stats. I've got him at 297 accuracy, 224 speed. Crit rate for this guy, I don't care anything about it. He is a bomb champion and he's a poison champion. So I want speed and I want attack. I'm not interested in crit rate or crit damage on this guy. Defense is non-existent. His attack is decent. Actually, his attack is pretty freaking good, to be completely honest with you. It's 6,280. He has a decent amount of HP as well, at 37,600. So, I mean, stat-wise, I have got him pretty well stacked, which is quite nice. I have got him in an attack banner. I've got him in an attack amulet. I have got him in an attack ring. Speed boots and perception, and I was fortunate enough to get one that has percentage attack and flat attack. I've got him in an attack chest, and I've got him in attack gauntlets. Now, let me stop right here and just explain something to those of you who may be new to Raid and not understand how bombs work. Bombs ignore defense, and they scale off of your attack. So the higher your attack is, the more just raw damage you're going to be able to do with those bombs. So bomb champions are one of the rare type of champions that you're going to build with attack gloves, if at all possible. You want to maximize that attack stat. I have got them in a perception weapon, and again, I was able to get some attack there on that roll. And I got some more accuracy off of the helmet. And then I was able to round it up with accuracy and speed on the shield. Masteries for Gnishak. Again, because I've got this guy going, I want to do as much damage as I possibly can off of his bombs, and I want that to be supplemented with the poisons, specifically against bosses. And I've done a couple of tests already, and I've got to admit, I am impressed with him. I took the offense tree and the defense tree, and I'm going to explain this choice to you here in just a moment. I went with Blade Disciple for the flat 75 attack, and I ended up in Giant Slayer, but I wanted to make sure I took Methodical. I wanted Kill Streak. So I took Opportunist because we're going to be CCing enemies in dungeons anyway, and a chance to get an extra 12% damage whenever an enemy is stunned, or if they're sleeping, or if they're feared, or petrified, or whatever, makes a lot of sense for this champion. And I took Heart of Glory, I took Single Out, I took Bring It Down, and then I ended up in the defense tree in Retribution. Now, support is absolutely viable for this champion, okay? If you are low on accuracy, feel free to go down the support tree, and then push your way down to Eagle Eye. But if you're able to get your accuracy off of your gear, then do what I did. and put Gnishak in an attack banner. That way, you'll just be able to do more damage using those bombs. Let's look at his skills. His A1, Pestilent Sensor, attacks 3 times at random. Each hit has a 40% chance of placing a bomb debuff for 2 turns. Bombs placed by this skill on enemies whose max HP is equal to or higher than 200,000 will deal double damage. Now, one thing about my Gnishak, he is not booked at all. I have no books whatsoever. Completely tapped out. So keep that in mind. Verminlord's Command. It's on a 4-turn cooldown. Attacks all enemies. Has a 75% chance of placing a 50% decreased attack debuff for 2 turns. Also has a 75% chance of decreasing the detonation countdown of all bomb debuffs by 1 turn, and increasing the duration of all poison debuffs by 1 turn, and damage is based on attack. His A3 I really like, so it's on a 5-turn cooldown. But here's what's really kind of special about this champion. Attacks all enemies. Has a 75% chance of placing 2 bomb debuffs on each target for 2 turns, then grants an extra turn. So what that means is, this is effectively on a 4-turn cooldown when it's not booked, and it's on a 3-turn cooldown whenever it is, because he's granting himself an extra turn. That lowers the cooldowns of his skills. So he'll open up with this, and then he'll go straight into Verminlord, which is really, really nice, and you're all going to see that in the playtesting. Bomb debuffs placed by this skill on enemies whose max HP is equal to or higher than 200,000 will deal double damage. Very nice. Then he has a passive. Every time a bomb debuff placed by this champion detonates or is removed, place 2 5% poison debuffs for 2 turns. These debuffs are protected. So what that means, the poisons that he places, they cannot be cleansed. They cannot be removed. So like, for example, if you're using this guy against the Iron Twins, how the Iron Twins, he has that ability to cleanse debuffs. He can't cleanse these poisons, which is really nice. And then he has a aura, increase ally attack in all battles by 30%. I mean, all in all, so far, I am impressed with this guy. I said I just fused him. I have not been using him a ton. We're going to be doing most of the testing here together. But I just want to just show y'all what he's able to do. And so far, I've got to admit, I'm impressed. So let's just do a damage test. Let's go into Dragon's Lair. We'll do Dragon level 20 because I don't want to be here all day. And I'm going to show you all the team, and I'm going to explain to y'all why I have got this team built. I'm also going to explain 2 champions that work really, really well with this guy. So just hold on here just a moment. I'm going to teach you how to do bomb champions. So remember, bombs scale off of your attack. So if you have an attack up champion, like in this case I'm using Arbiter, let's just say you have Sachi. Sachi works really good in this particular combination. We're going to go first, we're going to do the attack up. Yumiko's not going to do anything for us right here. Now remember, bombs do true damage, and they ignore defense. So defense down does nothing. However, if you have a champion that does a weaken debuff, Sawai Firstborn comes to mind. Another one that everyone's able to get for free by doing Doom Tower normal is Rain the Conjurer. If you go in, if you do weaken lets you do 25% more damage than what you would normally do with an attack. Now I'm going to go in here with Skyl the Drakes. We're going to throw out this stun. Beautiful. Okay, so now it's the rat's turn. So we have attack up. That's going to help the bombs do more damage. And we have a weaken on the enemy, which is going to allow him to do more damage. I'm going to slow this down. We're going to open up with the A3. Let's see how hard this hits. It's about 67,000 around the board. And we got these bombs. Now look, he's taking an extra turn. You see this? See, all these bombs now have a 2-turn duration. We're now going to reduce this down to a 1-turn duration. in my opinion, this guy doesn't really need to be booked. Oh, that just smacked. I didn't even catch the amount of damage that he did. I mean, he's just nailing people. Just go ahead and speed this up again. Next round, I'll have to stop talking. And I'll use Yumiko. I'll reset. We're going to see how hard that A2 hit for. I mean, as soon as this T-Rail takes it, I mean, if he even gets to take a turn, the A1 hit for about 13,000. And keep in mind, I do have him in Giant Slayer because it has a triple hitter on. He has a 3-hitter on the A1. So let's just do this again. Attack up. I want to see how hard the A2 hits because I was talking and not paying attention. So here's the weaken. We're doing the stuns. Keep in mind, we have the Opportunist Mastery in the defense tree that lets us do extra damage to enemies that are stunned or sleeping or CC'd in some way. Okay, so let's slow this down. Yeah, 65k around the board. Okay, now let's look at the A2. About 40k. So those two hits going back to back, he's doing around 100,000k before the bombs even go off. That's sick. That is just pure sick. That's just sickening. I want to see if we can actually get the bombs to go off. I don't want to kill these guys too fast. Maybe we should go to Dragon 25 instead. I just don't want to waste y'all's time with this. See that we got more bombs from the A1. 62k. Okay, so the bombs are exploding for 62,800, which is really solid. Now I'm just gonna put this thing on auto. And this dragon does not stand a chance. I want y'all to see something here. He's going to put bombs on the dragon. And as those bombs detonate, he's then going to start putting poisons on the dragon as well. So there's a bomb off of his A1. Now, if you are able to book this guy, he's worth it. But in my opinion, I don't think he really needs it. I don't think this guy needs to be booked. I think he's doing plenty of damage on his own. If you're lucky, if you are going to book him, if you put books into his A3 and they avoid everything else. Now look at this. When these bombs go off, when they expire, it's just going to put poisons all over this dude. So look right there. Because he just uses A2, he reduced the duration of those bombs so they went off. Now look at all these poisons. Those are all protected. So if you have someone that's able to detonate poisons like Dark Kale, they can work really well together. The only concern that I have is that Dark Kale can extend the duration of the bombs. But I have an idea. Yeah, I mean, I've got to admit, I am impressed. And my mind is thinking about different champions that'll work really well with this guy. Because bombs and poisons are a weird combination against waves. But against a boss, it makes a lot of sense. Let me test something here. Goodbye. I'm going to put together a new team, and I will be right back. Okay, so here's a new team. I'm going to use Taya. Taya is a Void Epic that you get for completing Doom Tower Normal. And I've got to admit, I'm not impressed with her at all. Like, at all. But I think the Gnishak might actually make her viable. Let's just test something here. I'm going to show this on auto. So I get to the dragon, because here's my thought process. Gnishak, if he is able to drop enough bombs on the dragon, get the bombs to explode, plus Yumiko is also going to be deflecting poisons back at the dragon using her A2, then Taya can then just instantly activate those poisons. But unlike Dark Kale, she won't extend the duration of the bomb debuffs. We don't want to extend the duration of the bombs. We want the bombs to go off as soon as possible, and we want Taya to detonate the poisons that Yumiko and the Gnishak are putting on the dragon. Yeah, I'm impressed. This guy's doing some work. And for the life of me, I cannot see any reason at all to book this guy. I just don't see it. I don't see why you would. It doesn't make any sense to me. So, I mean, if you get lucky, if the stars align, and if you're able to book his A3, just stop. See, look, so right there's the bombs. See all the poisons are getting put up there now? Now there's... Yeah. I think this will work. Because Taya, in my opinion, is the most underwhelming Void Epic in the game. And the really crappy thing about her is that you get her from doing Doom Tower normal after like a year. So she's kind of underwhelming by the time that you get her. That said, now watch this. Watch this. See these poisons are coming up? Those are all protected. And now she should be able to activate those poisons. Once she comes back around, I mean, as soon as this dragon takes a turn, I think he's just going to die. Look at all the poisons. There we go. These two actually work well together. Taya and Gnishak. How do you even say this guy's name? I'm just call him Gnishak. Listen, I'm a Russian bot. English ain't particularly good for me. Oh, those are horrible boots. No, thank you. Let's try Ice Golem. Just out of curiosity. I don't know how this will work. Let me put together a team and I will be right back. Okay, so we are here in Ice Golem 25. Let's see how this goes. So we've got Duchess in the lead. We've got Padma. Padma is in here for her attack down on her A1. We have got double support. We're using Duchess and we're using Blind Seer. And we are using our brand new rat friend. So let's see how this works in this particular dungeon. Okay, and there we have it. Let's go to compare damage. So, not surprisingly, Gnishak did some work. He came in with 6.3 million damage from bombs, from poisons, just the whole buffet, for lack of a better word. He brought in just a crap ton of damage. Those are garbage. But you know, as far as Gnishak goes, as far as our little rat friend right here, this little guy right here, I like him. I like him a lot. And if you are on pace to getting them for this Christmas holiday fusion, I hope that you do get him. I mean, he's a monster. He looks like a monster. He does a crap ton of damage like a monster does. If you have Contra the Cyclone, I think that those two will work incredibly well with each other. He puts down the debuffs. Contra uses those to provoke the enemies. That way he's not getting punched in the face, which is always kind of nice. You don't want your DPS to be dead on the ground. I mean, he's a good champion. So far, I'm impressed. And the best part about him is, as y'all can see through these videos, I mean, if you want to book him, feel free. But me personally, I don't see any reason whatsoever to book him. Well, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and head on out now. This is your host, PutinBot. If you all do me a favor, if you enjoy this content, if you would please gently tap that thumb up button. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. We would love to have you. The channel is growing. We have a good community here. We cover Raid Shadow Legends. We do Baldur's Gate 3. We do these YouTube guides. We also live stream. And we just love to have you. Well, I'm going to head on out now, and I will see y'all on the next video.